Welcome back to my 13 horrifically silly days of Halloween. Today I'm talking to Peter Donato, the founder of the Monster Dash. Welcome, Peter.
Welcome, thank you.
Thank you so much. And okay, so you are the founder of the Monster Dash here in Toronto.
Yes.
Tell me about the Monster Dash. Like, how and why did you start it, for example, and what it means to you, things like that?
Okay. Well, we Good Times Running was sort of born after we created the Midnight Run New Year's Eve, which was in Liberty Village. So we
What year
created
was
this.
that?
This is now 9 years ago. We created the Midnight Run in Liberty Village. It was, semi-successful, and then we got thinking, well, maybe there's something else we could do as a company. And at the time, my insurance provider didn't want to have this events company combined with my other company, so they said you need to separate your events and put them under another company. So Good Times Running was born around that time.
Okay.
And then also we did some research and realized that there really wasn't a Halloween run in Toronto. There was a run for almost every occasion, as you know, and every season. And there was no Halloween run in the city properly.
Okay.
So we looked around, and I knew the name Monster Dash because in the US they have some events with that same name.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so Monster Dash, we can't take credit for the creation. We did decide to stand out and be different. So we decided, well, we're going to be at night. Most of the Halloween runs, believe it or not, are not at night.
Yeah, no, well, I guess.
Surprisingly, I find it weird. You see a Saturday morning Halloween run or a Sunday morning, and
Yeah, everybody does the races in the morning, right? So I guess they just thought, well, we'll just do the races in the morning. But no, Halloween runs, they make sense at night.
Gotta be, yeah. Gotta be, yeah. So we did that. We also wanted to right away do something unique with the branding. So we actually, I forget how it happened, but I connected with a student in BC of all places, because I was on a business trip out there, and Emily Carr School of Design. And it was just a weird thing. And I networked and found a student, and she was amazing. And we did this whole project on what would our character look like, because I figured we needed a character.
Yes.
So the character came first after many revisions, and we have a really funny sheets to show all the different versions of Miles.
Right.
We wanted him to be cute but scary, because we didn't want any gross or any macabre, we didn't want anything. We wanted him to be kind of like brandable and fun, and kids would like him and adults would like him.
The Monster Dash is a family event, right? So
it's family. We definitely we want to we do. If you've been to the Monster Dash lately, we do have some dark, scary stuff there. We had the Monster Maze, which some people would not go in.
It's true, right?
But we want to cater to both the families and kids, because to me that's what Halloween's all about. And adults who want to be like kids and dress up.
Like me.
So. Yeah, there you go. So we created the character. We had a contest, got his name, which is a great name.
It is. It's appropriate.
Had hundreds of submissions, and that's how Monster Dash started, with a really cool character, Miles, and a night race. We've stuck true to, and that's the story.
Wow, terrific. So I guess I'm going to jump to. I guess the Monster Dash means extra to you because you love Halloween in particular?
Yeah, I think, as a young child, actually, I remember very vividly in Scarborough. I watched some horror as a young kid. Probably shouldn't have watched as much as I did, because it terrified me. But I overcame that. And then we just, this house we had in Scarborough, I used to do weird things with the windows upstairs. I actually had these big cat eyes. So I took my two sisters, with their permission, I took over their rooms, their bedrooms, and darkened the room, but changed the light bulbs to red, and then I blackened out their windows, and I cut out two big eyes on either side, so it looked like a cat was in the house. That was before Halloween was a thing, and there were no haunted houses, there were no blow-ups, no activations. We were one of the only houses that really, and that's all we did. We didn't do anything else. But I did that for a few years, and it was the talk of the town. Awesome. And it was really scary. So that kind of, for me, it was fun, right?
Yeah.
It was fun, and that kind of went away. And I did go out for Halloween as an adult. It was always a thing. But I never really got into the idea of dressing up a house or doing a lot until Monster Dash came. And then I started collecting and buying props and characters, and I have an incredible collection. So it's easy to grab 5 things and bring them to the house after Monster Dash.
Oh yeah, for sure. So what do you? So you get some props and things from the Monster Dash, for example, for your Halloweens. Now, what else do you do for the Halloween season these days?
Well, now actually, because I'm in the industry and we're trying to, we're doing a pivot right now. We've taken a family fun event at a hospital. You know, we used to have the first 3 years of Monster Dash at a kids hospital.
Oh yes. That Bluersview or
Holland, yeah. We were on their site, on their premises. We couldn't do a lot for obvious reasons. It's a working hospital, right?
Yep.
And you can't make it too scary. But when we moved to the Science Center, we had this really dark, massive room. We realized, you know, we need to do something with this room. And so we rented a bunch of really gross props and some very hardcore stuff.
Yep.
Made sure that the kids knew not to go in the corner, right?
Right.
So we did that, and it really changed the event. And so then we added the maze last year, which was a huge hit. You could hear screams all night. And so now what I've been doing the last year and this year, I now go to some of these Halloween haunted houses. There's a lot of private ones.
Yeah.
I've been to some of the great exhibits, the Haunt Manor down in Niagara Falls, which is epic. And I now go to these things to see what other people are doing, how they set up mazes or haunted houses, and get ideas. We want to grow into that space.
Interesting. That's really cool. So have you checked out Screamers and the things?
Yeah, Screamers, I'm not a fan of Screamers. I don't, it's very, I don't know, it's sort of single-minded. It definitely has its place, and it's one of the top ranked, but it's not my kind of thing, you know?
No. And what about...
I like the idea, and we've delivered this at Monster Dash, and that's what our event, we design our course to be, you know, it's getting dark. It's not dark when you start.
Right.
But as you finish the 5 and 10K, it gets dark.
Yes.
And there's the element of what's around the corner. Like, to me, that's Halloween. That's suspense. That's scare. Yeah. The fear of the unknown, you know? So that's my preference. I don't need to show off, you know, gross zombies every 5 seconds.
Yeah, no, and that's more like what the Canada's Wonderland one is about too, I guess. Although I haven't actually been to that one. I don't know if you've been to the Canada's Wonderland one.
It's on my list. I'd like to go there. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't checked it out. I've checked out the Casa Loma one though that they've been doing these past couple of years. They do.
I've heard it's pretty good. I've heard it's pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
The key, I think, is we want to deliver a fun event. We want it to be different. We want runners to look at Monster Dash and realize, okay, this is not normal, but I think it's cool.
Yeah. Right? Well, it's great that, okay, so you not only have mazes and a race and props and stuff like that, you have a costume contest.
Yes, we have. And actually, we really, the very first year, we were really impressed in the pouring rain with the types of costumes we had. And we kind of lost that when we were outdoors without indoor space. When you have indoor space, people can then change into their costume. Some people have 2 costumes, one they run in, one they wear after the party.
Right.
But yeah, we've really noticed the last 2 years, the costumes have gone up, the competition, the work, the effort, and then people appreciate that. So what we call Monster Dash now is actually one of the best costume parties in the city.
Yeah, it totally is. And there are some teams from running groups like Black Toe. I'll go ahead and name drop that name because my husband Kevin's in that group. And they, but not only them, but other groups will do group costumes, which are
we've had some great. We've had some really, and that's actually, you know, you don't get a lot of that, but they actually not only dress up in sync, but they run or walk in sync, which is really hard.
Yeah, that's a real standout for me anyway. For having been, I've only done the last couple of years, and then I'll be doing this year too. But it's been a blast. Yeah. It's a great party. Now, my blog series is not just about, you know, Halloween, but, you know, because it's that time of year and it is the 13 days of Halloween, it's certainly, you know, Halloween's involved, but I'm also talking about horror movies, in particular horror comedy, because that niche is you know, a little more obscure, and I just want to give it more exposure. And I know that's not really your thing, though, but we can talk about your favorite horror movie, though.
Sure.
The Amityville Horror, you told me, right? Have you read the book version of that, by the way?
No, I haven't, but I don't know if I would want to read a book. I think that was the first movie I saw. I don't even know what year that was, but it was the first movie that I saw that fits the category. I think it was great acting.
Mm-hmm.
Believe it or not, there are a lot of bad horror movies. It's just obvious bad acting, right?
Yes, absolutely there are, and that's what makes some of them funny, but not on purpose.
Yeah. So it had the the element of the devil. It had the religious element. It was a house that was possessed, which we all probably believe that there are houses out there that have some bad things happening.
Yeah.
And 3:15 in the morning. I mean, for the rest of my life, I will always, if I wake up in the middle of the night and it's anywhere near 3:15, I know what that means. I don't want to give anything away. But yeah, so that was my, Friday the 13th. I did enjoy the first one.
Yep.
Watched that several times, but I don't go out of my way to watch that genre. Partly because my wife won't watch it with me.
Yeah. So, okay.
Got to support the team, right?
That makes sense. But you mentioned your wife. She's a producer in film and TV.
Yes, she's a film and TV producer. Yes.
She's done a science fiction film, a Canadian film.
Yeah, and that's one genre I like. I do like some sci-fi.
Yeah.
So there. I guess sci-fi horror is an area that I should probably explore.
Absolutely. You mentioned other favorites being Alien 1 and 2, or Alien and Alien.
Oh yeah, I loved Alien. Loved Poltergeist.
Oh, Poltergeist.
I love Predator. I don't know if Predator, what you call that.
Yeah, no, it does. It fits. And Poltergeist certainly fits, though. I mean, I think that was one of the first horror movies I saw at an inappropriately young age. I definitely wasn't supposed to be watching that movie, but I was like 7 or something, maybe a little younger, and but my dad was, I think, trying to be the cool dad, and he let me watch it. So it's good. But tell me a little bit about your wife's film. You mentioned, is it Prisoner X?
Yes, Prisoner X, the movie. It's a small budget Canadian film. Mm-hmm. It won awards at, I think, 9 different film festivals. But it was one of those movies that, it's a very risky business, and you really need a lot of money to do the marketing and to hit big numbers. And it didn't go very far in the theater, but it has a good life online and on, I think, Netflix.
Oh, that's terrific. No, that's good to hear. Like, I like to, I want to make sure I give a shout out to a Canadian film, especially a Canadian genre film.
Oh, you're Canadian, yeah.
And I don't, did you find that for Amityville, jumping back to them, or Alien or Aliens, were there any moments that you found? I find with most horror movies, or most good ones that aren't just about gore and gore and gore, there are elements of humor, usually in order to diffuse the tension so that they can build it right back up again. Did you find any moments in your favorite movies that were particularly funny?
Well, Alien had good humor. There was a lot of humor in Alien. But, Amityville Horror, I don't think there was a funny moment in Amityville Horror.
There was one funny moment I found in that movie.
Really?
It's not, but it wasn't really supposed to be, so not everybody's going to find it funny. But there's this flying pig that's sort of floating out their window at one point with red eyes. Oh, yeah. Wow. And I couldn't help but laugh at that because it was just so strange. Just sure. but at the same time, I can see why people would also find it scary, because it was kind of like something out of a dream, some sort of mixed up thing that you'd get in a dream or something like that. And Alien, maybe I shouldn't find it funny, but when the alien actually bursts out of John Hurt, I actually find that weirdly funny. But that's also partly Spaceballs' fault. Have you ever seen Spaceballs?
No, but I've heard of it. Yeah.
They do a parody of that scene, so it kind of ruined it for me, because it's not an intentional funny moment or anything. But anyway, are there any horror or sci-fi movies or other genre books that you like?
Well, I grew up as a kid. I read Lord of the Rings.
Oh, terrific! Yeah.
Dune. I read Dune.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't, I kind of try to read everything.
Yeah.
I don't think I don't think my childhood or my adolescence was defined. I was more sporty. I was
Yeah. Well, that makes sense
all
with
the time.
Monster National.
Yeah, sports, you name it, I was into that. So it wasn't like I definitely did. I touched on some of those areas, but not a lot.
Okay, that's terrific though. That's good movies that you mentioned to me. But now I want to go back to the Monster Dash, and I want to give you a chance to sort of plug it basically
Sure.
right now, so that people know how to register, what to do, all that good stuff, and
Sure.
and maybe tell them about also the Tough Pumpkin Challenge and the Jeep giveaway and stuff like that.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, Monster Dash is so different today than the first year. And I feel like there's a lot of runners or people in the city who visited the website, they heard this, they heard that. If they take a close look now, we have a lot of pages on our website. There's so much going on. You don't have to be a runner to come out and enjoy the costumes,
Absolutely.
check out the coffins and decorations and props, enter the maze, have some food. Like, we really want it to become a Halloween experience. It's like a Halloween party with a twist. There's a run outside, right? So yeah, definitely. That's why from year one we've sold a friends and family ticket. So mom and dad who aren't runners but their kids are, they want to come out and see this. Maybe some runners who are doing the Scotia Marathon or the half marathon. They're not looking to lace them up a week later, but they want to bring a friend and encourage somebody to run, and they want to be social with runners. I mean, Monster Dash has become a real social event around the fitness and Halloween theme, and we have lots to do and lots to see. So that's sort of where we want people to take a second look. I mean, yes, if you love the medal, you're a collector of finisher medals. We rank way up there with one of the better medals.
Yeah, they are fantastic. Yes,
the medals we invested a lot in, and it really just like a lot of runners, especially ones that I knew from when I was racing and running a lot. A lot of runners are serious, and it's okay to be serious. It's okay to try to qualify for Boston, do your track work, set your PBs, but a lot of runners don't have fun.
Yeah. Okay.
Running becomes a chore. It's serious business. They got to look good. They got to be training. They're always on.
Yeah.
When I raced a lot, I won races and I was very fast. I did a lot of runs for fun. I'd go to the back. I'd run with a friend.
Right.
Pick up women, go to the back and make my way through a course talking to women when I was single. But I enjoyed races for what they were. And what we did at Good Times Running is we wanted to create events that were for runners, but a little different. And I think a lot of runners, if they would come to a fun run, and we're not the only people that have those out there, right? There's a lot of runs that, yes, they're accurate, they're chip time, but it's more important just to have a good time.
Yeah.
When's the last time, runners have to ask themselves, when's the last time I actually had a really good time at a run?
Yeah.
Not about my time, my personal time, but about actually smiling and enjoying myself and being with like-minded people.
Right. And you absolutely can't help but have a good time at the Monster Dash. So what's the Tough Pumpkin Challenge?
Well, we're always trying to be creative and think of new things. And so we did a bit of research this winter, and we found there are races out there that you actually are just running with a pumpkin. So there are these tough pumpkin races. Okay. So we've added that element where as an option, and you don't have to, you can run the 5 or 10K. It's $10 extra, very cheap. You get a pumpkin, and it won't be like the big pumpkin. It'll be a fair size pumpkin. We have a whole criteria for how we give out our pumpkins based on size and weight. But you have a pumpkin. It's very hard if you want to try it at home and go to your local grocery store.
Yeah.
Carrying a pumpkin is not easy, and then running with a pumpkin. But we have quite a few people already signed up.
Very cool.
So, maybe you're a runner who's strong and you love trail running and you love marathons and you kind of laugh at the 5 and 10K distance because it's not hard enough. I promise you, this will be a great workout.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then you have a special gift at the finish. If you finish and you haven't broken your pumpkin, because the pumpkin has to be intact.
All right.
Because there will be people that drop their pumpkin and then that's it.
Right? Yeah.
You'll get a special second gift at the finish line and bragging rights to say I was the first to do the Tough Pumpkin.
Oh, excellent. And there's a Jeep giveaway too.
And actually, thank you for reminding me. Our presenting sponsor, Go Auto Dodge Don Mills, are giving away a brand new 2019 Jeep Wrangler Unlimited for 1 year to one lucky winner. So that's another reason to come, and maybe you might drive off in a brand new Jeep.
Woo. And I think that there was voting on the color that it would be.
Yeah, the color, we're still doing that, and actually was looking at the other day. I think red and orange are leading the way.
Oof, good.
Silver's doing
red.
well. Lime green. The slime green is doing okay.
Oh, okay. All right.
So we have fun. When you register, you have to. It's a mandatory question.
Oh, yeah. Yes. I remember that. Yeah. Okay.
And we'll release all the final tallies as we get closer.
Ah, nice. Okay. And now, is there anything else you wanted to let anybody know about the Monster Dash? I will, of course, include links and stuff like that.
So you know what? I think you have to just take a look. Make sure you spend some time. We have a lot of videos. Mm-hmm. We seem to have more videos than a lot of other races. We try to have fun with it.
The medal reveal is particularly cool.
Thank you. Yeah. So yeah, just, you know what? It may not be for you this year, but you know, if you don't want to run, but you want to volunteer or you want to just hang out, show off your costume, get ideas for your costume for 4 days later.
Right.
That's something to consider.
All right. Terrific. Well, thank you again so much for joining me in my blog series. It was terrific.
Thank you very much.
Thank you
very much. Take care. Bye.